We left trying to explain something to the world, and we had the world explain stuff to us. And I want to just share a little bit about what happened to our hearts in this process. Your being out today in this hot heat is about enough to wilt any of us. But I have to tell you, we keep saying, as Doug did last summer, we're turning up the heat on Congress. So it's appropriate that it's hot here. We are so grateful for your being here to end our Nuns on the Bus 9-state drive for faith, family, and fairness. It is possible. I'd especially like to thank the many Catholic sisters and lay folks, people of faith, of all faiths, who welcomed us, hosted us. You're going to have to just hear all of these stories to know. On this 2-week journey that showed us the crucial services that they provide for the most vulnerable Americans must not be cut. I'm deeply grateful for the thousands and thousands of supporters that have turned up and greeted us along the way. People honking on the highway, people on the side of the road, from Des Moines, Iowa, to Columbus, Ohio, to right here in Washington, D.C. But as great and educational as this trip was, as inspirational as this trip was, it was also a journey of heartbreak and anguish, and it was a journey of hope. For us, this journey was spirit-driven. I'm a person of faith, obviously, so I talk religious talk, but that's what we need right now, is the Spirit driving us. We did this tour right now because some Catholic politicians are pushing budget cuts that violate Catholic social teaching, and they jeopardize the Catholic sisters' effort to really help struggling families, to practice the values of the gospel by serving the poor and the vulnerable. We do this face to face, hand to hand. One person was saying to us, you just go into a crowd and you'll hug anybody. Well, it's true. I really think what sisters do is to hug the life into people, not hug the life out of people. That's what we're about. We care for the least. We care for the least among us, we care for the most among us, but it's with the same heart that we are all, in the eyes of God, we're all equal. And because Jesus told us to do that. It's a great mission. Today, at this conclusion of the bus trip, Nuns on the Bus, whoever thought that would catch on? I have never felt more proud, more delighted, more, enriched by being a Catholic sister than to stand here with my sisters today. Over the last 2 weeks, and we think 31 communities, though I may have missed it, across 9 states, I've been moved to tears by the work of my fellow women religious, what they're doing to serve our most vulnerable. In Dubuque, we saw 7 congregations of sisters working to create food pantries, but not only a food pantry, housing programs, a center for refugees, and the capacity for refugees and immigrants to learn English. We also, in Chicago, saw this fabulous Mercy housing as an oasis of hope. And then we came out of this oasis of hope, which was light and beauty and color and security. And we come out and we found out that a little boy, and the woman used a hand like about this high, 20 minutes before we came out, had been shot. And in this desert of violence and blight is this little oasis, this bud that's just opening. In Detroit, we saw a literacy center where adults struggle to overcome lifelong learning disabilities, all the while creating community. They don't study alone. They study in teams because the 3 of them will keep an eye on each other and make sure they show up. It's a wonderful partnership, and it's what we are about. We need to make sure we each show up for this struggle ahead. Catholic sisters' commitment to justice, charity, human dignity should be an inspiration and a model for all of us, not just nuns, and especially our political leaders across the street.